Hello, and welcome back to the definitive Starship Review series without access to a proper table, where today we are going to acknowledge the fact that this actually is one of two Starship Review series claiming to be the definitive Starship Review series without access to a proper table. And I thought I surely had that in the bag. But, we're not going to talk about that stupid N-Squared review series that also claims to be the definitive. This is clearly the definitive series without an access to a proper table. Screw that other one.
Wait, is this being put on Artistic and Autistic or N-Squared?
Oh, this is going on N-Squared.
Oh.
Yeah, but this is a separate series. There's my series, and then there's this series. They're two different series.
Okay.
If you don't know, Alex has seen, basically we're going through by my reviews as the series came out. They're like a few episodes into TNG. So they're still basically a Star Trek noob, especially when it comes to ships. And let's face it, early TNG and canon don't really, it's a bit weird, So today we have got 10 starships from, as the community voted, the Eaglemoss Special Editions, the first 10, which means 8 of these are reboot movie ships. So, Alex, I don't know, you might remember this.
I'm supposed to remember things?
Well, you might remember this happening. Back in 2005, Enterprise, the Star Trek series at the time, was canceled. And that basically was the death of Star Trek. There was no more.
You said 2005?
Yeah, you won't remember this.
I was an actual child.
When Enterprise came out, most people didn't realize it was a Star Trek. So I'd be amazed if you remembered that. But a few years later, in 2009, they rebooted Star Trek as movies. You remember this, right?
No.
With basically it was Kirk and Spock and McCoy, those people, but J.J. Abrams was doing it.
Didn't
and it
do
was
the movies.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It was a reboot movie, so it's like different actors, a different timeline. So the ships were kind of like unconventional. They started being a bit different. They're a bit weirder. So today, we're gonna see your opinions on what is probably less controversial than it used to be, but still a mildly controversial set of starships. Are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Well, first off is actually not at all what I was talking about whatsoever. It's Deep Space Nine. Thoughts?
The outside looks like it should be holding a globe.
It kind of is a
from
globe.
Here to here to here. Ignoring the center bits, it looks like it would be holding a globe.
There's a great picture on actually one of the Blu-rays right there of the guy who made Deep Space Nine kind of cradling the station. There's a smaller version than this. I have cheated. This is not the special edition. This is the XL edition because the special edition is at work on my desk. But this one is a gorgeous model. Oh no. Blasphemy. They've started.
I like this better.
God, what is... So this is, of course, the station from Star Trek Deep Space Nine, one of the 90s series. You have seen this model, but it is a well-beloved design. And look at that, you're even slowly rotating it. You just know instinctively. That's what Deep Space Nine does.
You remember in the original generation?
The original, yeah, that's what it's called.
Remember in TOS?
Yep.
When Apollo basically just took one of the historians and was just like, "You will be my wife," and she's like, "Sure."
Okay, where's this going?
This looks very Greek-esque to me.
Oh. I always think this looks like this bit that connects the
Sci-fi
reactor.
Greek.
No, I think it looks like the railings on banisters.
Sci-fi Greek.
If we can get that. Right? It's like the wooden railings. Actually, it's the Elder Wand from Harry Potter. I've just realized it's Dumbledore's wand.
Expecto Patronus.
But like 10 times over. That's what powers Deep Space Nine, is actual magic. And we all know the magic is canon in Star Trek, of course, because of that episode with Satan.
Oh, yeah.
Is that all you have to say about Deep Space Nine?
Where's Bassard collectors to collect Bassards?
Well, it's a station.
Oh, it's a station.
It doesn't move.
Technically, if
Well,
it's in orbit, it always moves.
Okay, technically it can move, but like it's really not supposed to move, and it doesn't do warp.
Technically, if it's in a galaxy, it's always moving.
Well, I guess it does move, but it moves like this. It slowly rotates.
Technically, the Earth is moving throughout the solar system, and thus the galaxy right now.
Who said Earth?
I'm just saying technically it's always in motion.
No, this is the center of the universe in which all motion is defined as Deep Space Nine. True. Next ship.
Next ship.
Hopefully, you'll have a little bit more to say about this one.
I make no promises.
We're now in reboot territory. This is Kirk's Enterprise, exactly as you remember it. Alex is giving me a look, which I can only describe as an ugly duck, which doesn't have the bottom part of its bill.
We're just gonna pretend this doesn't exist.
Wait, no, go bring it back up.
No, it's ugly. I don't like it.
Okay, this is what I said about the ships being a bit different. This
No.
is the reboot Enterprise, Kirk's Enterprise.
No.
As designed by J.J. Abrams. Very sleek, very modern,
No.
very white. Powered by the Budweiser factory or something like that. And its deflector dish is massive.
Okay, how to make it look straight on us? Okay, look at the blue parts. It looks like a face going, ooh.
Kinda. Actually, I think it looks more like a face just at a slight angle.
Yeah, these are the eyes and that's the mouth.
That's what it is. It talks. And it's like Kit, you know? It's like, hi, Klingons. That's what it sounds like. Technically, the Enterprise did talk, you know?
I don't like it. No.
Okay. I hope that's not your reaction to every ship, because this video is going to be very brief.
This looks like, you know that one alien ship I think you showed me that looks like a giant, like, Thanksgiving cone they always have?
Yeah, the Doomsday Machine.
Yeah, the Doomsday. It looks like they just painted the Doomsday Machine white and sanded it down and put it on the back of a Enterprise.
Kinda, yeah. I'm not going to do it to this model, but if you actually bend these just a little bit so the nacelles are where they were originally, this ship looks like 10 times better. I've actually kind of warmed up to the design a little bit. It's like an alternate timeline thing. It's not my favorite.
No.
Well, this is setting a tone, I guess, for the Kelvin Timeline. That's what they call it, the reboots, the Kelvin Timeline. Or I'm old, I call it the JJ-verse still. We need a camera that's just your face, because you have amazing expressions when we do these. But yeah, Alex, not a fan of the original Enterprise, because there's like 5 ships that can be called that. Alright, poor Enterprise. Next ship already?
Next ship, I guess.
This ship, Alex. Oh god. Bam. 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 That's a look. That's a confused look.
Is it an evil Enterprise?
Basically, yeah.
It looks like, you remember in the original series when Kirk from another dimension came and sexually harassed that yeoman.
I remember the episode better than you, but yes, I remember this episode.
This is he would try.
Wait, you're saying this is good Kirk, this is bad
That's
Kirk?
boring Kirk. Boring Kirk, a regular Enterprise is good Kirk, and this is evil Kirk. I want to go back to Disco Bones.
You want to go back to Disco Bones. Whoops.
Disco Bones, Disco Bones.
This is the USS? Well, it doesn't have its name on it. This is the USS Vengeance.
This is the Soviet Union Vengeance. Is that spiderweb looking decal?
That's the bridge. This is the JJ verse, meaning that the ships are absolutely massive.
It's Evil Kirk's ship.
Yep, it's a Section 31 ship, which I legitimately did not realize until like the 3rd time I saw this movie.
See now the whole see the little shieldy bit?
The deflector?
Yeah, the deflector, the shieldy bit.
Yeah.
Now it looks like an evil robot eye. All it needs to do is be red.
A downside about this ship is you might notice it's camouflage black, and it's a spaceship. Can you see the problem in a camouflage black spaceship? As a movie, logistically, it's an amazing idea, but, you know.
It's very unnoticeable.
Yeah, you can't see it.
Okay, I do like it like this, though. It looks like a Klingon robot.
Again, actually, it looks more like an You know what this reminds me of? You won't get it. It reminds me of the Strange New Worlds Enterprise a lot, for some reason.
I like this.
Again, with our theory, I think more this way. It's a jet ski.
Too.
Because
Both ways work.
Every Star Trek ship upside down is a jet ski.
What, does this one look better upside?
I don't know, but it sure as heck is going to look like either a jet ski or a submarine.
It looks like a disappointment to my father.
I don't know. It's hard to picture.
It looks like a dolphin with a weird tumor on front.
I suppose it... Well, I don't think it's better, actually, than the Enterprise D being a pregnant duck, but... Weirdly enough, this looks so much friendlier. Upside
I know,
down.
right? Evil, friendly. Evil, Klingons when they become our friends. Evil Kirk. I'm party with this guy.
There actually is a starship from Star Trek Online that's like the Federation, the Romulans, and the Klingons being an alliance, and they made a starship that's a Federation ship with like a... No, it's a Klingon ship with a Federation saucer jabbed on the front. It looks weird. Good luck, Alex. Also, can we appreciate that you hated this ship so much it's the only one you haven't tried to put on its stand incorrectly? It looks a bit more menacing straight
like
on
it.
then.
It looks silly. I like it.
Next ship.
We can just... Banishing that to the dark realm. No, it's being banished. Now everything's as it should be.
This ship, Alex, we're gonna play a bit of a game that I like to call Who's That Pokemon?
Yanmega.
What?
You asked what Pokemon it looked like.
What is this ship and who owns it?
Klingon.
Wow, okay. If you just get it right then, I guess. That's not gonna help prove my point.
It's the most aggressive race I know at the moment.
So, this is a Halo ship, clearly. And I don't even play Halo. By that look, I can say you don't even know either.
I mean, I've seen Halo, but, like, I guess it kind of looks like the armor. What it looks like is a snake skeleton.
Sort of at the back, I guess. It's got a weird, like...
this is fun.
Well, it's got, like, a weird jet engine for a spaceship? This is the Klingon D4. I know that off heart.
Oh, it's a 4 dice?
Well, it means it's part of the D series, which... do you remember the D7?
No.
It was their ship in TOS.
No.
It's like the one with the long neck.
No. Oh, the one that looks like a bird vomiting.
Probably, yeah. So this is a precursor to that, which it doesn't look like it. It's got actual guns all across. It's got a Halo cockpit, and it's got a jet engine.
It looks like it has more guns this way.
In other words, it's got everything a Star Trek ship doesn't.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah, I don't at all. I mean, it's an alternate universe thing, but it's just doesn't really... It'd be better if it wasn't like a D something, because it doesn't look like a D something. Good luck with this, by the way. Nothing else to say about our D4 friend?
It looks like it has a lot of guns. Also, it looks like another Batman symbol.
Actually, someone said this about the Dominion ship that you said was a Batman symbol in the other video. I think it looks more like the Green Goblin's glider from Spider-Man.
It does look like the Green the Green Goblin's, whatever the heck. I do like it as an enemy ship, though.
It's even got weird... Yeah, but
I like it. I like it at any angle. I also like it because it's green.
It's just not very...
Are these fucking turrets?
Yeah, it's just not very
Nice.
Star Trek, and it's got so much of, like, other sci-fi.
It's not Star Trek, but it's also not Star Wars, which is usually the
No,
non-Star
it's Halo. Like, it's a video game combat alien enemy ship.
Knowing that's a Klingon ship, I'm willing to say it does look Star Trek. It just doesn't look like a Starfleet Star Trek. It looks like an enemy Star
that's because you haven't seen enough Klingon ships. It'd be alright as a Klingon ship. I hate the jet engine on the back.
But
not as a D4. If it was like just an atmospheric fighter craft, whatever, it'd be great. As a D4, it doesn't work. It's like a range of ships. So like they have like a D1, then the next iteration, like look at my Enterprise wall, right? You know how the Enterprises get better every time? It's like that's their D series, you know. Hey, they put it on the right way around.
just because this has more color, and I like color.
Next ship. This ship, I think you're gonna have an interesting reaction to. I'm not quite sure what it's gonna be. Bam. Alex's face just went through about every emotion. It was actually something to behold. What's this? They're laughing now.
Well, obviously it's from the Kelvin universe.
This is why it's called the Kelvin Timeline.
Why does it... It only has one turbo. I thought
Yep.
the turbo magnets.
Yep. It breaks the turbo rules.
It looks like a gun.
To be fair, it's not the first ship to break the turbo rules. It's not the first one-turbo ship.
It is a gun, though.
It's like the friendliest gun you've ever seen.
It's a gun. It only shoots discs, but it is a gun.
So yes, this was Kirk's dad's ship. What's that look?
I don't know how I feel about Kirk having a dad.
Yeah, no. What I said? It's Thor. Thor is Kirk's dad. Is it Chris Hemsworth? Chris Hemsworth? The guy that plays Thor is Kirk's dad.
I do like it better upside down.
Which is weird, because it's basically the same ship.
Yeah, but I like the longer penis on top.
So, it's the Kelvin from the Kelvin Timeline. This ship, basically, some Romulans go back in time and blow up this ship, and supposedly that's the reason the timeline's different, even though that doesn't work at all as an explanation. But this is why it's called the Kelvin Timeline.
Is it dirty, or is that...
Yeah, I think it was dirty in the show, and also because this ship's purpose is to get destroyed in the first 10 minutes of the movie. It's like battle damage, it's weathered. We've entered a modern Star Trek. I'll let you ask your question. Alex is politely raising their hand after I say, this is modern Star Trek, so they rebooted it to make it look more modern and higher in budget, so you'll notice these ships, this is actually a bad example of this, but they kind of have more greeblies, like bumps and stuff. They're more weathered, they have more stuff going on. I don't really like the weathering usually, but yeah, you'll notice that these ships from the modern era are generally busier and have weathering.
It's just dirty.
Yeah, well, it's dirty because it's old. Like, this is 0514, 10 years before they built 1701.
Why do they have a pixelated camo look on all the ships?
The Aztecing. Every ship after the original series has some variation of this pattern. So it's called Aztecing because it is vaguely reminiscent of kind of Aztec-esque patterns.
No, but go on.
Well, I said vaguely. It kind of changes with the eras, but even the Enterprise D, it has this panel work. You see it more on this ship because it's smaller. And every eras is kind of different. This Enterprise has some, but it's actually really different. It's more kind of square-y. The Vengeance had it. It's the dark camouflage stuff. But it's how Star Trek makes its ships look interesting without adding greeblies. I feel like you've been the most positive of this one, of the Federation ships. I quite like the Kelvin, though. It's warmed up to me. I really hated, like, all the J-Day designs, but now that modern Star Trek has gone weirder, like, it's warmed up to me a bit more, the Kelvin. But hey, look, it's a ship that breaks the turbo rules I kind of like. That so rarely happens. That look of disgust on Alex's face. You don't like the Kelvin, then?
I don't like its turbos.
It's only got one turbo. This is the engineering hull.
I don't like it.
Alright, moving on. I lied. 3 of these are not from the reboot movies. Do you remember the NX Enterprise? It's that one. It's the first one in the line. You really liked it. It wasn't the other ship upside down. Do you remember this?
21st of September. No, I don't.
Well, it's pregnant now. Look.
Oh, it is pregnant.
It's pregnant.
And its egg has a hole in it.
Where?
Look on the bottom where the egg is, and there's a dot on it. The egg has a hole in it. The egg has a hole in it.
Oh, the science thing. Yeah. I think that's just a cap on the top.
Its nipples have areolas.
What did you say about its nipples?
It has areolas.
Areolas? I don't know what those are, but it has areolas because the original Enterprise, you haven't seen it, from the unaired pilot 10 years before Kirk, had these. It had little points on its nipples.
Oh, okay.
This ship is actually quite fun. It's is it non-canonical? It is no longer non-canonical. That's right, Picard had it. This ship is basically, they took the NX and they took Cook's ship.
Nintendo NX.
This is how the NX became Kirk's ship. It's like kind of showing how they got these secondary hulls. And a lot of people hated the NX design until they saw this, and then they understood it. And those idiots got Enterprise canceled, and we hate them. But they came around in the end, so, you know.
I mean, I like it without all the extra bits, but I think this looks cool, too.
I know, I really like it with the extra bits. I love it without, but I love the Columbia class, and it was one of 2 ships once Star Trek came back that we really wanted them to make canon. And so just, you better make the Enterprise F right, because I can't put anything new on that lineage wall.
The blue bits on the inside, I don't understand.
It used to be on both sides, but because Kirk's ship didn't have anything on the side, they're kind of transitioning, so they made it solid on the outside and blue on the inside. And the implication is that, you know, getting to Kirk's ship, they'd cover this up entirely.
I like the blue better than there being nothing.
Most ships have the blue. It was actually a problem because it's the ships, like, starting at the movies that had this, and this was supposed to be a prequel. Of course, Discovery kind of messed up a lot of this transitional stuff. It didn't make it as clean, but it's still a beloved ship.
Okay. I like how right now it just looks like the space station has an army of ships protecting it.
It is Deep Space Nine. That is rather fitting. Now, Alex.
Okay.
This ship, I think we're going to get some discussion on.
Oh, dear.
I'm just going to show it to you blindly, and then I'm going to slowly reveal information about it. Okay? Bam.